Aura Property Group, guiding you home.
Help us to understand the bond origination process.
So it works that we normally get a lead from an estate agent who has sold the value proposition of Ooba to the client. We will then make contact with the client and offer our free services to the client and explain exactly what we do and what the benefits are in going with Ooba instead of going to the bank directly. Our consultant, our home finance expert, will offer the client various ways of how he would like to be interviewed. It can either be done telephonically, we can go and see the client, or often they just ask us to send the paperwork on to them and they will go through it and they will phone us back should there be any questions. Obviously, there's a lot of documents that we need from the client to support his application. We will tell him if he's a self-employed customer, what documents we need, and if he's an employed customer, which documents we would need from him. Once we've collated all the information and we've done the interview with the client must sign the application form, and one of our finance experts will then capture the application and submit it to all the banks that we can go to fitting the criteria of the applicant, because not every applicant can go to all the banks. Once it's in the bank, we have about a 3-day turnaround time where we should get an approval in principle, or there could be queries on more documents that could be needed and that will be sent on to the banks. These applications are all done electronically. There are no faxing of documents that can go astray anymore. It is a very sophisticated system that we use, and then the application is submitted. Often we'll get an online approval, which is an absolute great thing to get, or an online decline. So obviously as an online decline, we will have to try and find out why the decline happened, and we will dissect the application and then go back and appeal the application to make sure that we have a successful outcome. Once we have an approval in principle, we present it to the client, and the client can then decide if to proceed with it, if the deal would suit him. The banks will then go and do a valuation. If it's sectional title nowadays, they do mainly desktop valuations. They don't do physical valuations anymore. Once the valuation is done and they've reached valuation, we will get a final grant from the bank with all the conditions on it. If we've gone to more than one bank, we will wait for all the banks and give all the information to the client and then allow him to make the decision where he would like to place his application. I think Ooba's job is to try and put the client back with his own bank. That would be our preference. But our offer to the client is to make sure that he gets the best deal. The best deal doesn't necessarily mean the best interest rate. He might have to have a higher loan to value at a higher interest rate than a lower loan to value could be the best deal for the client. Once the client's accepted the deal, we accept with the bank. The bank will then instruct the attorneys, and the attorneys will draw up the documents, which the client will be called in to come and sign, and then it will proceed on to the deeds office where it will get registered. This process can take around about 3 months before the transfer actually takes place.
Aura Property Group, guiding you home.